And hello, welcome back to the You Dad Me at Hello podcast. My name is RJ, along with my co-host Andy. This is a show about two dads and their opinions on film, TV, music, and wrestling. You didn't ask for it, but here we are anyways. Our topic for today is top 90s comedies. We have 32 of our top favorite comedies from the 90s, and we are going to dwindle those down right to the number one spot. So, if you agree with us, if you do not agree with us, hit us up on Facebook. You can also hit us up on YouTube and Spotify. Right now, you can hit up anchor.fm/youdadmeathello. That'll give you the links to all of the different places. If you didn't catch last episode, Top 90s One Hit Wonders, it was a two-parter with our good friend Bill. We do have a One Hit Wonders Spotify playlist, which you can capture in the link as well. But feel free to let us know what you thought of that. We got many awesome topics planned for the coming weeks. But Andy, what is it?
You said awesome, so I'm wearing a Mike Awesome shirt. So.
There you go. Way to interrupt my promo.
Yeah, no problem.
What are you thinking about 90s comedies today?
Well, comedies are my favorite genre of movies. I think you're more of a movie buff than I am. You watch way more, but you watch a lot of obscure things and more rom-com kind of things. 90s comedies for me, that was kind of the pinnacle. Maybe like late 90s, early 2000s. I think that's when I was constantly watching movies, and that's when a lot of really good ones came out. And you'll see by our list, that majority of those are probably in that time frame. So I'm excited. I already kind of picked who I think is going to be up there. I think we're going to disagree because your opinions in movies and mine are very different, as they are in music and a lot of other things. So that's what makes this so fun and interesting.
Most of the movies that I like are the best movie ever.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said you like comedies. That's true. I like comedies too, but I think comedies is your thing. For me, I'll correct you a little bit. I do like my rom-coms. I do like obscure films, but horror. And that's probably my top, which should be fun because you know nothing about it. So future topics of horror movies, you're gonna have to do some research. I think I'm gonna make you watch some good horror movies.
I would like to sleep that week.
We'll do it next Halloween. Look forward to it.
Oh, no.
But today's comedies. So everyone will get some sleep unless it's a really bad comedy movie, which there probably are some on this list. Surprisingly, when I was doing the research for the top 90s comedies versus the 2000s comedies, I actually think I knew more 2000s comedies. And I enjoyed more of the 2000 comedies. But a lot of good ones. I think what we decided...
Throw a fart joke or a poop joke in there. I'm there. Like, that's all I need.
Which I think are like leading people. What, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, that's pretty much what they do.
And that's the majority of our list right there.
There are a lot. They are mainstays for sure. What's his name?
They
Chris
were the
Farley,
90s.
David Spade.
But you think about 90s and comedy, that's who you think of. Like,
that's true. Everybody
from SNL started going over into the movie shop, whatever, the movies, and that, that's so that's who we're gonna see a lot in this.
Nice. Well, we're back to just two dads this week. We were joined again by Bill for the last two episodes. It was really fun having a third person, but we are back to just the two of us, as Will Smith would say, and we are gonna start. I think what we decided was because we have a bigger list, top 32, to get to 16, the top 16, to cut these in half, we are going to kind of do a rapid fire, a little explanation, and move on so that we can get to the top 16, and then we'll spend a little bit more time maybe giving our opinions and point of view.
Like speed dating. Let's do it.
All right, let's start. So our first bracket here is Groundhog Day versus Grumpy Old Men. What do you got?
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day? Okay, I'm going to go with that too. I do like both, but Bill Murray, man. Second one, Miss Doubtfire, Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
I really like Beverly Hills Cop 3, but Miss Doubtfire's classic, and just thinking about it now, I'll agree with you. Black Sheep versus Billy Madison.
This was a tough one for me because I like Chris Farley as well as Adam Sandler, but Billy Madison.
So this one, I'm torn. I have grown out of my love for Adam Sandler, and so I'm tainted looking back at Adam Sandler movies that I may have enjoyed then that I don't now. So I'm going to go with Black Sheep on this one. That's still one that I find hilarious. So I think we're going to have to ask Randy on this one.
Come on, Randy. What do you got?
Randy has Black Sheep. I know that one hurts you.
Oh, well, that just throws off my entire list here. All my notes were on Billy Madison, so.
I mean, you can go back and talk about it later if you'd like.
I'm going to talk to Randy about it, and we're going to discuss this in great detail.
Next one, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Happy Gilmore.
I prefer Robin Hood Men in Tights.
That surprises me a lot.
Does it?
I thought we were going to agree on this one. I was actually going with Happy Gilmore on this one. That's an Adam Sandler movie I can get behind.
I like it. It's just not one of my favorites of his.
I do like Robin Hood Men in Tights as well, though.
It's got its moments. I mean, it's got the Bob Barker scene and all that. But Robin Hood Men in Tights has so many cool one-liners. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Randy.
We're going to have to go back to Randy. He also seems to be glitching currently. So we have to just give him a second.
Randy can't decide. He's so torn about this
true.
one as well.
All right. So we're down to Happy and Robin Hood. What do we got? Randy, we have Happy Gilmore. Moving on.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Look.
You're wishing that Bill was on this one to help us out.
Yeah, no,
Randy is not your friend today.
I'm gonna call a friend.
Vegas Vacation, National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation versus Clueless.
Clueless.
I'm gonna help you out on this. I'll just go with Clueless. I don't know either of them very well.
Really?
Clueless I've seen, but Vegas Vacation I have not. I was always a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and I never saw that one.
Okay.
Next up, Encino Man versus American Pie.
I love Encino Man, but you put the two against each other, it's American Pie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with American Pie too. I've seen Encino Man, don't remember much of it. Not a fan. Who's the dude that played Encino Man?
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him.
And Pauly Shore with.
Yeah, doesn't do it for me.
No, the Weasel.
I'm on the tournament. I'm on the tournament manager right now, and I can't see you. But just the sound that you just made scares me.
Betty Nuggs.
All right, American Pie moves on. Next up, we got Big Daddy and Office Space.
Like, are you saying a movie or that's funny? We got Big Daddy in Office Space.
Big Daddy's up next.
I love both of these movies. But I favorite Office Space more, and I know you're not going to vote for it because you haven't seen it, and it's going to kill me when it comes off this list.
That's okay. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go with Office Space.
Really?
I don't like Big Daddy.
No.
I've seen it. I don't like it. I haven't not seen Office Space. I just haven't seen it fully through. So I've seen enough of it. I've seen some memes. I've seen a ton of things about it to know that it's funny. So I'll go with Office Space, but I do need to actually sit down and watch that. Next up, Home Alone and Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Yeah, baby. Austin Powers.
You heard
that was an awful impersonation.
I'm going to go with Home Alone. It's classic.
Comedy, though?
I do, yeah. I just showed my kids it.
I just watched it like
it's slapstick. It's slapstick.
You know what? All right. It is funny, but Austin Powers,
I can't stand
it was such
him.
dumb humor, and it blew up. Like, everybody was saying, giving their awful impersonation like I just did. I swear, baby, it's not mine.
What? How many movies of Austin Powers were there?
3.
Was it 3?
Yes.
Yeah, there were 3.
The third one is very underrated. By
Gold
the way,
member.
With Gold member. I love gold. He's not weird.
I mean, they all have decent scores, and they actually got higher scores on Metacritic from the first one to the last, 51, 59, and 62. So they actually got increasingly better according to Metacritic.
They didn't, but I'll go with it.
All right, moving on. So that was.
What did Randy say? Did you
Oh,
pick
sorry,
us?
I forgot to tell you what he said. I just did. I ran it while you were talking. Sorry, it's Home Alone. Randy hates you today. So Home Alone is moving on to the next round. Next up, this one's tough. Rush Hour and Liar Liar.
I Rush Hour all the way through. I think I've seen bits and pieces.
Oh.
And it doesn't look like anything I would enjoy much. But I love Liar Liar, so I'm going with Liar Liar.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with Rush Hour on this one. I love Jackie Chan comedies. They really do it for me. However, Randy agrees with you, and Liar Liar will move on.
All right, Randy's got some sense back in him.
Next up, Tommy Boy and Nutty Professor.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tommy Boy too. For me, it's funny. Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, which both appear on this list, are the same kind of movie. You've got the same two guys, and to tell you the truth, I almost forget what each one's about. It could almost be the same movie to me, but they're both funny. So, next up, Dumb and Dumber and Friday.
Again, both movies that I like, but I think I prefer Dumb and Dumber as a comedy. I think Friday is a really good movie, but as a comedy, I think Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I agree. I saw both. Friday was good. Dumb and Dumber is just classic. I mean, it's in Rhode Island, so kind of got to go with that. With the big blue bug showing up in the scene. So
two morons in Rhode Island. Where can you go wrong?
Sounds familiar. Moving on, Bad Boys and Beavis and Butthead Do America.
All right. I mean, I've talked about Beavis and Butthead before, but I'm going with Bad Boys. I think just the dynamic between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence was just fantastic.
Did you see the new Bad Boys yet?
No, not yet.
I haven't either. I do want to see it. I actually need to do and watch all three of them, just because I haven't seen them in so long. But I'm going to go with Bad Boys as well. Beavis and Butthead was cool at the time. I'm not sure I could sit through that again.
The movie is something that you could still sit back and watch and enjoy. Just the little things that they do when they sit there and they just watch the donkey take a poop. Like I saw that scene and I had to rewind it so many times because it was just so idiotic, and that's just my humor.
Next one I think is going to be a tough one. We're going to disagree. My Cousin Vinny versus Loaded Weapon 1.
All right, so I've never seen Loaded Weapon 1. You tried to explain it to me, and I'm still going with My Cousin Vinny.
Loaded Weapon 1 is a parody film, a very early parody film. Emilio Estevez, Samuel L. Jackson, Tim Curry, William Shatner, Kathy Ireland. It basically parodies the Lethal Weapon movies. Hilarious. Like you do need to see this at some point.
You need to see My Cousin Vinny. You two Utes.
Maybe we'll do a movie night sometime soon.
Well, it's gonna be Office Space. So you already made me watch Hamilton, so now you're getting stuck.
But
watching
you liked
Office
Hamilton,
Space.
and you know it.
I did, and you're gonna like Office Space. You're gonna say, Andrew, I can't believe that I've been missing out on this movie for almost 30 years.
All right, so Randy has decided, and it's going with Loaded Weapon, which won't make it very far considering you have no idea what it is.
You still got the bleeps, because I might be putting those in the rest of this tournament.
Beep. There's Something About Mary and Major Payne.
All right. I mean, people are going to be like, Major Payne? Really? You put Major Payne on here? It's one of those, like, comedies, but as a kid, you'd think it's so much funnier than probably what it really is. But I'm going with something. There's Something About Mary. I feel like all Ben Stiller's movies are kind of similar plot lines too. Like he's always like this. He thinks he's a nice guy, but he's actually a jerk, and people think like you kind of like hate him by the middle of the movie. Seems to be his thing, but that's my pick.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with There's Something About Mary too. I mean, it's classic. Another Farrelly Brothers movie. Just like Dumb and Dumber. So, and a lot of good people: Ben Stiller, Matt Dillon, Chris Elliott. So a ton of people.
I forgot about Chris Elliott.
Yeah, and then
Great.
obviously Cameron Diaz, who basically is the star of it. But a lot of like, I just remember being disgusted by about half the movie. So,
Yes,
but
there are some interesting, disgusting moments of that movie. Hair
this,
gel. Yeah.
oh yeah, and I'm thinking of the beginning when he zips up his privates. So yeah, and they show
Oh,
that.
yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about
so
that. Oh,
yeah,
I just felt it. I just
that was
felt it.
1998, so I would have been
35.
14 years old. So I probably didn't see that in the theater, um, but yeah, 14, 15 years old watching somebody zip up their privates, not good. Next up, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective and Wayne's World. Ooh, tough one for me.
Me too. I I love both of these movies with like still watch them like whenever they're on or we're just me and my wife are bored. Ace Ventura is usually the one that is put on. She doesn't want to watch Wayne's World. But Wayne, oh God, I thought about this one for a long time, and I actually have some scribbles in my notes because I was torn, but gotta go with Ace Ventura on this. It was such a breakout movie for Jim Carrey.
All right.
Talk
I
about long
just
pause.
I didn't really like I didn't register that you were done talking. Like I thought you were doing a pause, so I was just letting you.
I do such long pauses that you don't even know when I'm done with my sentence.
uh, J- Brooklyn Nine-Nine referenced Ace Ventura in one of their episodes where Jake Peralta was saying of the film, classic film, one of my childhood favorites, and it only gets overtly transphobic at the very end, so it's a win. So he talked
That's
about
true.
how they cross some lines in that one. So 90s comedies, I would gather most of these are probably don't age well,
No.
but hey, I'm gonna go for it too. So Ace Ventura.
All right. Sorry,
I
Mike
do like
Myers.
Wayne's World. Party time,
So
excellent.
you, we voted. Did we vote out Austin Powers too? So is that two Mike Myers movies that are gone?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not a Michael Myers fan. I'm a Michael Myers fan.
I was gonna say
Or
you're a Michael Myers fan.
yeah, that's
A
true.
murderer. Yeah, you like murderers.
He just doesn't talk. All right, and the last one, we actually made it through here in record time. We are down to our top 16 after this. What about Bob and Kingpin? We're gonna need the beep if we don't agree on this one.
All right. It's gonna be. What about Bob? I love Kingpin. Like it's again another one of those dumb movies. Woody Harrelson's fantastic in it. Um, and Jeff Daniels is in that as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a great dynamic, but what about Bob again? Can't go wrong with Bill Murray.
Yeah, Kingpin, I don't remember much about it. Randy Quaid's
Bowler.
in it too. Bill Murray's in it. Um,
Oh,
it's good,
we
but
put
what
Murray
about Bob?
against Murray. I forgot
I
about
we did, yeah, not purposely, but what about Bob, man? I just discovered my wife hasn't seen this movie, so at some point we will be doing a What About
I
Bob
I
movie.
had I did not watch it in the 90s. My
I
my
I
wife showed me probably a few years ago.
Oh, okay, nice, and you liked it, obviously, it made it.
Yes, yes, I
All
did.
right. What about Bob and Groundhog Day? Both made it, so Bill Murray's doing good today. Um,
Good job, Bill. We could probably
all
get him
right.
on the podcast. He'd probably be like, "Yeah, sure."
That's true. That's true. As a sneak peek, guys, we are actually working on getting possibly some interviews. So maybe changing up the podcast here and there, not permanently. We'll still continue to do our tournament brackets, but possibly maybe getting into the interview business a little bit. So, Bill Murray, if you're listening, we would love to have you on our podcast so that the 18 people that
Man,
watched our last episode can learn from you.
I wish I had my daughter's Garfield stuffed animal. Like I did a Bill Murray impersonation.
I can't wait to show those movies to our kid, like my kids as they grow up. Like I love the kid movie phase that we're in right now, but I'm just thinking, and we're kind of pushing the line sometimes. I'm like, can we show them Jurassic Park now? Like we're just getting into those older movies, but like Groundhog Day, What About Bob? Like that's gonna be fun when we get into those. So we are in the top 16. This is it. And so we'll slow it down a little bit here. But we've narrowed it down to the top 16 movies. Again, if you agree with us or you don't agree with us or you have something to say, hit us up on YouTube, hit us up on Facebook. You can also catch us on anywhere you catch your audio stream, Spotify, and a number of others. So you can check that out on anchor.fm/youdadmeathello. So check us out. Top 16. You ready?
No.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right. Well,
Is
we'll
Randy
do it
ready?
next time. Thank you for coming, everyone. Randy's ready. Randy's ready. He might be needed. Top 16. Groundhog Day. Miss Doubtfire.
You know, I haven't really seen Groundhog Day in a very long time. And I've seen Mrs. Doubtfire a lot, and it always makes you laugh. Even though the storyline, like you watch it now and you're like, man, he is such a toxic individual that Robin Williams plays. Like you're pretending to be this older lady as a babysitter so you can watch your children in your ex-wife's house.
That's a restraining order waiting.
That's more than that's
jail
no good.
Time, taking your children away.
I get he's at like that point where he's got to make that decision. But man, like take it back a notch. Like I'm sure there's other things you could be doing. But I Mrs. Doubtfire for me is the pick here.
Oh man, okay. I'm gonna go with Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, Chris Elliott yet again. Just a great movie. Hand. It's a very it's a smart movie. It's funny.
That's why
but it's got a good story. So I like that. I'm gonna go with that. But Randy did agree with you. Miss Doubtfire.
That's because Randy lives in 2020 and we're currently living in Groundhog Day. So we want to get out of that.
That's true. So yeah, Miss Doubtfire moves on. Next up, we have Black Sheep versus Happy Gilmore.
What's your thoughts on this?
So, I'm trying to remember, like, what would I want to watch right now if I could turn on one or the other, and Black Sheep comes up for me on that one. So I think I'm going to go with Black Sheep. I do like Happy Gilmore a lot. But yeah, Black Sheep. That's my vote.
I'm really trying to remember the difference
between his
Black
two
Sheep and Tommy Boy.
Well, like Black Sheep is the one of the politics.
His brother, right? His brother's running for whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just a total screw up. And then they're in the woods and that whole thing. And that's the Kill Whitey thing, right? When he's on stage.
And I think that's the one where he tumbles down the hill. Yeah.
No, out of the two, I mean, that is a funny movie. It does have its moments, but Happy Gilmore, I think, out of the two, for me, is something that I'd want to watch more often. I think it's got a good plot. Dude with the prosthetic hand that just keeps busting. Chubbs. Yeah, I'm going with Happy Gilmore.
All right. Well, Randy does agree, and Happy Gilmore does move on as well. So Adam Sandler continuing on.
Stop looking at me, Schwan. Wrong movie, but that's my Adam Sandler.
See, I wouldn't even know. Sure that's not the one?
Yeah, that's Billy Madison.
Whatever.
Shampoo is better. No conditioner is better.
This is going to be the trailer for this episode.
Yes.
Next up are two movies that I don't really care about. Clueless and American Pie. So I'm going to go with American Pie. I'll just tell you right now.
Oh, God.
No good reason.
For no good reason, just because.
Yeah, no, I just don't like Clueless. I never really got it. I've seen it.
As if.
See, I know enough to understand that. That's about it.
So dumb. Oh man, really? This is like. I love Clueless. Clueless is such a. The one thing I didn't like though, it has nothing to do with the movie really, but in middle school when that movie came out, I hadn't seen it yet, and like all of a sudden, all the girls were dressed like them in the movie, and they all had the fuzzy pens. And so anytime I was like, "Oh man, my pen's not working. Can I borrow a pen?" They'd pass me this damn fuzzy pen. I was like, "Come on, like this is the worst." And they all started doing the whatever and the as ifs. And I was like, shh, stop, please. And then I saw the movie. I was like, this is pretty funny. But from a comedy perspective, like I think Clueless is. I get where you're coming from. Like I can see why people wouldn't like it. So I'm gonna go with American Pie.
Oh,
And
okay.
my wife even made a note that that's one of her movies too that she likes.
Which one?
American Pie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was Clueless is it's classic. It's still running now as far as in all these adaptations, and I think it even went on Broadway for a little while. Alicia Silverstone also has a new movie coming out, or a show coming out this year that actually looks pretty good. But also Clueless is loosely based on a Jane Austen novel, Emma. So It's super smart. But it does not move on. American Pie does. And they're moving into the top 8. Next up, we have Office Space versus Home Alone.
Again, from a comedy perspective, Office Space. I like Home Alone. It's a kids movie. It's more of a Christmas movie. I would consider that more. When we do a Christmas movie podcast, maybe that will be up there. But Office Space is one of my favorite movies of all time. The whole, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just I don't care. Like that was like my mantra for so long. Michael Bolton. There's a guy. His name is Michael Bolton. And he's like, "Can you just call me Mike?" Like he was getting interviewed by 2 guys, and they just got like super pissed, like because they were big Michael Bolton fans. Like they're beating up on the fax machine. And the hip hop. Oh, Frank, what song was that? Damn, it feels good to be a gangsta. Oh God, like just.
So well, silly. I mean, it's become a cult classic for sure.
It is.
So I'm going to agree with you on this one, only because of your thoughts on Home Alone and kind of is it a comedy or not. So I'll make this easy for you, and I'll vote for Office Space.
I mean, we just watched it, and my daughter was dying in hysterics over like them getting beat up. So I got the slapstick comedy piece of it, and it was making me laugh too. Anytime they got hit in the head or something. Though when he steps on the nail on the stairs,
yeah.
Oh man, I cringed so
when I
much.
watched that movie with my kids, I thought they were a little too young for some of the parts. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that part, or yeah, they were a little nervous. We did end up watching Home Alone 1 and 2, so possibly 3 too as well, actually.
I forgot
there's 6, so you need to go check this out. Yeah, none of them
with only the original 45 in the 6th one.
No, they only do 2 with him. But anyways, next up, Liar Liar and Tommy Boy. So just to remind you, Tommy Boy is the one where Tommy graduates from university, returns to Ohio, and gets an executive job at his family's auto part, Callahan Auto.
I know Tommy Boy well, but it's like some moments of Black Sheep. I'm like, did that happen in?
Yes.
Like there's some moments where like, which movie did that happen in? I prefer Tommy Boy over Liar Liar. I think the David Spade, Chris Farley dynamic, obviously it turned into, another movie in Black Sheep after that. Again, it's got those one-line zingers, just like Tommy want wingy and fat guy in a little coat, like things that people still say. So yeah, Tommy Boy.
All right, moving on, because I agree as well. Tommy Boy. Liar Liar, I don't remember much of it. I'm more of a fan of Jim Carrey's more serious movies, Truman Show, and The Majestic. So Liar Liar is just not for me.
My wife's gonna be mad because Liar Liar is one of her favorite movies of all time.
I'll have to rewatch it. I don't remember much of it, so
it's got its funny parts in it. I just don't think it's on the same level as some of his other movies, or Tommy Boy.
Well, I just remembered in Liar Liar, his wife is an ER nurse, Maura Tierney. She plays in ER for quite a while, and she was really good in that, I remember. She's also from Boston.
Oh.
So moving on, we have Dumb and Dumber and Bad Boys. I'm gonna start this because my gut says to vote for Bad Boys, but then I start thinking, like, is Bad Boys really a comedy, or is it more action? It's an action comedy,
Yeah.
but Dumb and Dumber's straight comedy. Like, it's a comedy movie. And so while Bad Boys, I laugh a ton, and I love the Martin Lawrence Will Smith dynamic. Téa Leoni's in it. It's a great movie, but I feel like it might be more on the serious action side more than it is on the comedy side. So I'm sadly going to have to vote for Dumb and Dumber on this one.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I was gonna say the same exact thing. It's definitely more towards the action. It's kind of like Rush Hour.
Yeah.
It's the action comedy. Were they even around the same time? Maybe separated by a few years, but yeah, Dumb and Dumber for sure. Again, that's that dumb humor that that you don't have to think. You can just watch it and let go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Dumb and Dumber is just the more pure comedy. Just to give you a Bad Boys was 95, I think, and then Rush Hour was 98.
So Rush Hour is like, we can make money off this.
I mean, they did 3 movies, I think, right, of Rush Hour. So Dumb and Dumber moves on to the top 8. So we got 2 more brackets here in the top 16. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 versus There's Something About Mary.
I mean, There's Something About Mary. Like I said, I've never seen the other one. Oh my God, my voice. We're talking about the 90s, so my voice went back to the 90s. Let's talk about There's Something About Mary. That's actually how I sounded. Yes, I'm going with that.
All right. It would be Loaded Weapon 1. I'm telling you, when you watch this, you're going to look back and go, that should have made it further. But Randy does agree with you on There's Something About Mary. So There's Something About Mary does move on. And that's not to take away from that movie. I mean, it is a great movie. It placed, I think, number 27 in the AFI's 100 best comedy movies.
Where'd you throw that fact out of? Like, you're just like, it was number 27.
I don't know why I do that. I'm literally reading it right off right now, but I'm always like, I think it's this.
I think it's this.
But it's literally right here. So I know it's this. It's 27 in the AFI's 100.
I think in the Boston Globe, they actually said that it was the classic of the times.
If I can remember right, I think it was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for the Best Motion Picture, musical or comedy.
I believe on page 96 of...
It won 4 out of 8 MTV Movie Awards, including Best Movie.
Ooh, the Moon Man.
Yeah. I remember looking forward to award shows back in the day. Like,
now you know nobody who's there.
That's true. They're always like, oh, here are the 8 people performing tonight. And I'm like, Eminem and Garth Brooks. I have no idea who any of these people are.
Oh, we're giving away the Senior Citizen Award to Will Smith tonight.
Like, the Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Taylor Swift. And I'm like, what? Oh man, so There's Something About Mary does move on, but I am stressing to you to watch Loaded Weapon. You will not regret it. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. What About Bob?
I just haven't seen What About Bob enough. I liked it, and I've seen it, I think, maybe twice. And it was funny. It's kind of a little depressing for me. He's a lonely guy. He's got
Is it hit too close to home for you?
Yes.
Literally is What About Bob you now during COVID? I feel like
pre-COVID.
What About Bob? However, Randy agrees with you. So Ace Ventura moves on, but we still believe in mental health.
Did I pick it yet? I didn't pick it yet.
You were heading that direction.
You know where I was going.
I just told you I've known you for 32 years. You're choosing Ace Ventura.
Come on, laces out.
All right, we are now in the top 8. We are moving along. Hopefully, you're following along with us. But we are down to the top 8 now.
It's the Elite 8.
The Elite 8, yes. Miss Doubtfire, Happy Gilmore. I'm gonna go with Happy Gilmore. You mess me up with thinking about how illegal everything that happens in Miss Doubtfire. And
Sorry,
being
man.
in a having an ex that I share kids with. There's so much wrong in this film. You just can't do those things, man. Even if you're Robin Williams. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think Happy Gilmore is the funnier of the two movies. They were just talking straight up comedy. Mrs. Doubtfire it's funny, but
I actually don't
I don't
think
think
I'm
it
ever
aged
going to
well.
show my kids that movie. I don't think I'm going to.
No, Happy Gilmore.
Plus, Pierce Brosnan's in it, and I just hate his face. So
I
I don't
think
like Pierce
I think that was
Brosnan.
on purpose.
The what?
I think they made him hateable on purpose. It's probably
No,
a
no, because I hate him
lovely
in
man.
everything. I don't like him at all in anything. So I actually did just watch a movie, uh, Vampire from Twilight, dude. Robert Pattinson, in a movie called Remember Me, and his
Was that any
dad
good?
is Pierce Brosnan. Very good. I say
Okay.
very good. It's you have to see it just to get through it. There is a really cool.
Well, yeah, obviously.
You have to see it so that you can see it. But I can't give anything away. But the complete package of the movie from start to finish is interesting, to say the least. So you should watch it. Pierce Brosnan, you hate him in there too.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Hopefully the rest of the brackets go like that. American Pie versus Office Space.
Man, I feel like we haven't talked about American Pie at all. We're just like, just pushing it through. Um, Again, a very dirty movie, so definitely up my
Yeah.
alley. He just deflowered that apple pie.
I think you can say deflowered on the
I can't
podcast.
say deflowered.
I don't know. I'll beep it if
Beep it, just
yeah.
deflowered. Nobody will have any idea. You're gonna bleep out the word deflowered, and they're gonna think I'm saying something so much worse.
I
It's
mean,
that it's that WAP, warm apple pie.
it's a complete movie about youths making a pact to lose their virginity. So there's definitely a very dirty movie. I feel like anything Eugene Levy's in is dirty. Anything Tara Reid is in is dirty.
I read that he improvised his lines,
Oh, really?
Eugene Levy, and he basically said, "If I can't do this, then I walk." So they let him.
Hmm.
Office Space for me. It's just, again, one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just so depressing. Like, this dude's life is just so depressing, and he just stops caring, and everything. It's kind of like, leaving your troubles behind and doing what makes you feel right. So you talk about, mental awareness. Like, he's just at such a rut in his life, and he goes to see the therapist, and everything. He just doesn't care anymore. Like, he's got this awful job, and he's like, I'll come in whenever. Like, who cares? Like, and that's when things like take off for him too. um, and it's just really funny. So Office Space.
I'm going to do you a solid here, and I'm going to go with Office Space as well. Only because the reason I moved American Pie into the second round is because I just don't like Clueless. So I moved American Pie in. I don't really like American Pie either. Office Space, I've seen enough of it to realize that it's funny. So I'm going to go with Office Space as well and move that up. But like you said, American Pie, it's classic for sure. A lot of cameos in that movie too. Blink 182 appears in that video, in that movie. Casey Affleck
I think they're getting a Lifetime Achievement Award.
is in there too, probably. So a ton of people in it. Allison Hannigan, who I think went on to How I Met Your Mother. So just I
Sean
don't
William
know.
Scott.
True. Sean William Scott, actually 2000's Sean William Scott when he was in with The Rock. I forgot the movie, but one of my favorite movies with him in it.
Sean William Scott made like, I was reading, like, less, I don't know, it was like $10,000 or something like that, $13,000 for that movie, 18 something less than $20,000, which isn't a lot for someone making a movie. And then they signed in for all the other ones, and that's where he made his millions. So that was the performance that really put him into that millionaire status.
Nice.
Just a little
Yeah, he was
tidbit
also
for
in Dude, Where's My Car, which was
role
another.
models.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And Hazard, he played
mhm.
one of the dudes. Oh, The Rundown was the one with The Rock, which
I don't know
was
if I saw that.
hilarious. You what?
I don't know if I saw that.
Oh, it's so good. He
I
is.
haven't really watched a lot of the Rock's movies.
You should. The Rock has to capture him for the guy's dad.
Tickle fight?
But it's super funny. But anyways, so I think we've decided Office Space is moving on.
You seem so unenthused about everything that's moving on here. Yeah, I'll just
I
put
you
that.
know again 90's comedies. I there are some that I really like, but
This is gonna
I
be me in
think
the horror movies.
yeah, I think 2000s comedy is going to do it for me a little bit more. But
Okay.
next one's going to be a little tough for me. Tommy Boy and Dumb and Dumber. I'll tell you now. I mean, Tommy Boy is the better of the two that I like from Chris Farley. But with Dumb and Dumber, man, Jeff Daniels, he's hilarious. I like him in a lot of stuff that he does. So I'm gonna go with Dumb and Dumber on this one. Shout out to Rhode Island, Big Blue Bug for life.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the Big Blue Bug was in there.
Hmm
Special guest appearance. Everybody's like, "What the frick are you talking about?" Everybody outside of Rhode Island.
Everybody in
inside
Rhode Island knows they claim hold to that. They're
Yep.
like, yes, for
Like
sure.
they think that's like the mayor. Is the Big
They
Blue
are
Bug.
literally from Providence, Rhode Island. They set out on a cross country trip from Providence to Aspen, Colorado. So, but they are supposed to be from Providence. This is a Farrelly Brothers movie. So
I think her last name's Samsonite. Um, I like Tommy Boy way better than Dumb and Dumber. I think I've said everything I want to say about Tommy Boy. I just such a classic.
all right. Well, we've got to do a tiebreaker. So we had Tommy Boy and Dumb and Dumber, and that is going to be Tommy Boy. Moving on.
This is my Tommy Boy dance.
The final of the top, whatever are we in, 8. There's Something About Mary and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Ace Ventura.
Wanna
I
do a
don't think
quick-
there's any competition here. Yeah, I think there's something about Mary has made it this far just based off of who they've gone against. It's a good movie, but Ace Ventura is a classic 90s. Wait, we throw away this word classic. We gotta come up with a synonym for it. Exquisite movie is Ace Ventura.
with it.
I'm gonna bring out a thesaurus.
Ace Ventura is filled with awesome people. Jim Carrey, Courtney Cox, Tone Loc.
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc,
Don't say
sorry,
Loc.
whatever.
Moron. Do you know what Tone Loc is?
Yeah, he's a rapper, isn't he?
Wild Thing, Funky Cole Medina.
Yeah. I mean, I remember. I don't. Whatever. He was on the I Love 90's tour. That's all I remember. All right, so Tone Loc. He was in it. Dan Marino was in it. Freaking Dan Marino. So.
Freaking Dan Marino.
Man, this is a
Yeah,
tough one
that's a
for
big
me. I'm gonna go with Ace Ventura too. I feel like it's a little bit more classic, and I'm saying the word you hate, but when I think of 90's, Ace Ventura comes up. It's probably because Adam Sandler, but
It's not Adam Sandler.
I mean, frick, Jim Carrey. Cut that part out. We'll move on.
No,
Hold on.
keep that in there.
When I think of 90's, it's because of Adam. No, I just did it again.
Just so.
All right, here we go. When I think of 90's, it's because I think of Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
So,
even though you said Adam Sandler was in the movie, so let's move on.
you can't keep bringing it up. I'm going to delete those.
No, you gotta keep that in.
It's going to be the trailer. Anyways, Ace Ventura moves on. We are literally now in the top 4 movies, comedies of the 90's. Just to recap, we have Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler, not Jim Carrey. We have Office Space with not Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler. We have Tommy Boy with Chris Farley. And we have Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, which stars not Adam Sandler. So, I thinking about it, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, Chris Farley. big names in 90s comedy. So I think they all deserve to be here. Office Space, obviously, as well, but, big names in the other ones for sure. What do you think?
What?
Did I lose you?
No. What do I think? We're just moving on to the final four.
Awesome. Great. I'm glad you're co-hosting. All right. So top four. Happy Gilmore
It's quarter of 10.
versus Office Space.
What is it? What are we doing?
Happy Gilmore versus Office Space. I don't know why I'm doing this. Here we are.
You're praying that I say the movie that you want me to
I
say.
don't, I don't even care about any of this. No, I'm just kidding. I do have an opinion on this one. I'm going to go with Happy Gilmore.
I know.
Bob Barker. The whole concept is just hilarious to me. The fight they get into on the green is great. I'm not usually a huge fan of Adam Sandler. I actually have gotten into some of his newer movies. What was it? Grown Ups 1 and 2 was hilarious to me. I just saw those recently. I literally just watched them about a month or two ago. And then Click, which came out like 15 years ago or so. I loved that movie. But Happy Gilmore, here you go, classic. But yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna go with Happy Gilmore.
Geez, I am going with Office Space. Again, it's one of my favorite movies, so you can throw a lot of movies up against Office Space. I'm probably going to say Office Space for most of the time. I don't know, it's got too many one-liners in it. Like there's a part where like dude is in his car in traffic and he's like listening to like gangster rap music. He starts putting his window up. You're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So that's just why we have to watch it together. Office Space, you don't give two craps. But what does Randy think? Because Randy's totally into this.
Randy does agree with you, and it does go on Office Space in the finals. We have removed Adam Sandler from the top comedies.
Sorry. I think Billy Madison should have been there, not Happy Gilmore. So I think it would have been a different discussion for me.
All right. Next up, Tommy Boy and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
I'll let you start.
As much as I like Tommy Boy, in this one, I just feel like it's too stacked with Jim Carrey, Courtney Cox, Tunny Loke, Dan Marino.
Adam Sandler, apparently.
Adam Sandler is in it. No, but it's really stacked. Some of the music in there too. I think The Lion Sleeps Tonight. There's like a really funny scene with that in it.
I forgot about that.
Is
that when when he's got the two spears in his legs, or is that the second one?
I don't know.
See, that's the problem. Some of these movies had like follow-ups to it. It gets all mixed and jumbled together. You're like, which one was which? So you're going with Ace Ventura?
I am going to go with Ace Ventura on this one.
I'm going with Tommy Boy.
You're making this hard.
Stop setting me up for jokes I can't say.
Beep.
Why
Tommy Boy over Ace Ventura? Explain yourself.
I think I just prefer Chris Farley, and I love David Spade. I think David Spade is severely underrated. He plays such like a swarmy creep, little kind of D-head, doo-doo head. That's what we'll say. He plays such a doo-doo head in a lot of his movies, and they just play off each other. What they did in SNL, and this really propelled Chris Farley. Obviously, he would have had a lot longer of a career. Had things not played out the way they did. But he you talk about slapstick comedy. Like Chris Farley was a master at that. He did a lot of the almost like Three Stooges type, like would get hit, fall down, do things like that. He would play off. He was a large guy, so he'd play off of that. The fat guy in a little coat. Um, just little things like that. Ace Ventura is funny as well. Again, the movie that propelled Jim Carrey. It's just personal preference. I just find that movie so, and I've seen both of those movies probably 50 times a piece. But again, I have a hard time separating. Well, really both. Sometimes I know what Tommy Boy is. Black Sheep kind of mingles its way into Tommy Boy, and all the Ace Ventura movies kind of, I'm like, I forget what's what. I was like, oh, that was in the first Ace Ventura movie, and that was in the second one. Yeah, personal preference. Sorry.
All right. So we're gonna have to go to Randy on this one. Randy has chosen Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
All right.
So we are in the finals of our top 90s comedies. Again, if you think that we are totally crazy for what we ended up with, it's Office Space and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. If you have another option, or maybe we even forgot one, which we'll talk about after the tournament. But if you think that there should have been something else, hit us up. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on a bunch of other streaming sites. But you could check out all of them at anchor.fm/youdad me at hello. That's dad's you dad me at hello. So check it out. But we are down to the finals of our top 90s comedy. Office Space, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. This one's going to be a little tough for you. I can sense it.
By me going, that's how you know. Like when I'm thinking, it's either a long pause or me going, or.
For people who've seen our last episodes, he does have a very disappointed face that he makes. I did point it out in our top 90s one-hit wonders. He's usually disappointed on these podcasts.
It's because you're on it with me. All right. Well, I already know what movie you're gonna say.
You don't know that.
I know what you're gonna say.
I have no idea.
I know you're gonna say half the time. Pretty good odds. What are you gonna say? You say it first.
I'm gonna say the one with Adam Sandler in it.
Oh, Office Space.
I'm gonna go with Ace Ventura. I don't have enough of Office Space to really figure that out. So Ace Ventura for sure.
And you must be the Monopoly guy. All right. Again, I could say my love for Office Space all day. But I want to sleep in my own bed tonight and not on the couch. And my wife basically was like, Ace Ventura is one of the best movies of all time. And it is. I'm going with Ace Ventura as well. You think about 90s comedy, Jim Carrey's up there with all of his movies, really. But Ace Ventura is the one. Again, maybe some of the content doesn't sit well in today's society as it should, or as it shouldn't. I don't know which was the right verbiage in that, should or shouldn't. I don't know. I don't want to like double negate myself there. Some of the jokes shouldn't have been said. Different times, but it's so funny. Like Jim Carrey just, he was a character. That's what he did, and yeah. I don't know what else we can say about Ace Ventura. Like, I wish we could show movie clips and be like, this is the reason why I like this movie, and have him like prancing around in the tutu, things like that. Yeah, when you said the whole lying sleeps tonight,
yeah,
like that just brought back like memories, and it's so funny. Guano.
I'm remembering some of like the really funny moments. Like Ace Ventura literally says at one point, "Holy Testicle Tuesday," and then he's like, "What is he doing here?" And he's like, "I came to confess I was the second gunman on the grassy knoll." And then
one of my favorite parts is still Righty then. Like, when, you know me, I don't go to church, but when I do and they start singing like that, I'm trying to hold it together the entire time because they always go, Amen. And all I think is, righty then.
I
And
mean,
my wife just looks at me, she's like,
if I went to a Catholic church, I'd think the same thing. So it's fine.
Peace be with you.
But anyways, Ace Ventura, Randy would have chosen him too. So Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is the top 90s comedy movie.
I should have brought kazoo.
I'll put it in. All
right.
There's a bunch of sound effects I just found.
Can you draw one like in my mouth? I might have to edit that part.
No, I'm keeping that for sure. And yes, I'm going to impose on the screen a kazoo right in your mouth. So anyways, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective has made it through. Congratulations to Adam Sandler for making it all the way to the end.
Not Adam Sandler.
It's Jim Carrey. But anyways, there are probably plenty of movies that we forgot or didn't add in, didn't have time. Clerks has been talked about. Half Baked has been talked about. Night at the Roxbury. South Park had a movie right at the end of 90s. Hot Shots.
I was going to say, I think Clerks is going to be the one where a lot of about cult classics, kind of like Office Space, Clerks is up there. I thought it was funny. I don't know if it was one of the best movies in the 90s, but a lot of people would definitely disagree with me on that.
We left a lot of Adam Sandler movies out. Wedding Singer, The Waterboy, we're both on there.
I don't think those are anywhere near top notch of his movies.
No, I don't think so either. There was even a movie that the South Park creators got in front of the camera for, Basketball, if you remember that.
Yes, I do remember that.
But that wasn't going to make the list. But I do remember it, and it was pretty good. We did have something on the list that we took off. Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, with the Wayans. I do think that's a funny movie,
yes.
But it just wasn't going to make it. Wasn't going to make it that far.
Bebe's Kids.
I don't know what that is.
No one does. It was like a cartoon about like little kids, and they just got foul mouths.
Okay, yeah. I think I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I remember seeing as a little kid the previews for that. I was like, this looks cool, and it wasn't.
All right. Well, hey, Ace Ventura has won.
Great job, Jim Carrey. What the heck is that? Oh, you reacted.
I reacted, yeah.
Oh,
but anyways, Ace Ventura has won. Thank you for joining us for another episode of You Dad Me at Hello.
Probably our worst episode ever, by the way.
This is by far one of the best. No, it's not. But it's, we got through the comedies. We've got a bunch of other topics coming up that we're excited for. Yeah, we made it. So did you, obviously, if you're listening to it. So we appreciate it. Please do us a favor. Also, if you really do like some of our episodes, feel free to share it on your own social media as well. That's been helping us a lot as well. We're not begging. We're not going to beg, but please do it for sure. But we appreciate it. And that's it. Thank you for coming. Have a great day.
Produced by me.
Yeah, that's a DJ V rap single.
I made that in 30 seconds.
You could tell. But anyways, hey, here it is.